iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR, to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, as everything happens here at Daytona. Last week, the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series for red light racing, well, they raced right there on the banking here on the oval. Tonight, we will not be racing. Well, I guess technically we are. We will cut, though, to the infield portion here at the Daytona International Speedway, as we will go road course racing for the first time this season. These drivers have been out there practicing all week long to get ready for this race, and they have sure put on one heck of a show and practice session. I've been out here watching them for the last hour. They were out here last night, and the practice is going to play a big factor in this race here this evening. So as the drivers are already locked and loaded around this big speedway to the infield, let's take you to your starting lineup. Starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Simbox. Find them over on Facebook.com at SimboxPC. Starting on the front row, it is an all-rev esports lockout. It's the number 11 of Sean Single picking up his first pole of the season. His teammate Dalton Williamson to the outside, and then it's the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry of Ryan O'Donnell. He'll start third. Fourth will go to the 88 as Sean Butler. We'll see all his back handles tonight around the twisties, and it'll be Jason Wells, Zach Mitchell. James Skelton starts back there in 7th with Max Terrell in 8th. 9th will go to the 31 of Michael Trevarthen. 10th will be the 62 of Ethan Troutman. The number 954 of Rex Hoyle will go there from the 11th position, while Richard Murdoch is going to start back there in position number 12. Starting back into the 13th spot, going to be the number 5 of Brandon Minto. Alongside him to be Travis Minto, the brothers in that row. Starting 15th, we'll go to Eric Johnson, Kevin O'Brien in 16th, Joe Strano, Chris Hammett, Ryan Richard making his second start back there at 19th spot. 20th, we'll go to the number 38 of Brandon Vini. Starting 21st will be the 3 of Tony Strano, while Dave Bragga's back in the 9:53 entry. He'll start 22nd. 23rd to Brian Bianchi, Tim Combs in 24th, Bob Higgins 25th, Christopher Rothrock in 26th with Jeffrey Souza in the 27th spot. Josh Buckley's 28th, Tim Williams is 29th, and Rob Higgins rounds out the field as we're getting ready to go racing. 30 laps the distance here tonight, race fans. Lock loaded, making left and right-hand turns. Green flag is up into the air. 30 laps officially starts right now. So as everybody goes down into turn number 1, it's a very tricky braking point here, but it looks like just about everybody is going to be able to get through there. Still Sean Single out front. Sean Single, Dalton Williamson, one of them into the grass. That's the number 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. He'll take the trip through the grass, and that is not where you want to start things off here this evening, especially when you start towards the front of the field. He'll have to fall to mid-pack here and see if he can get back up through. Everybody down through the infield portion of this track is going to be very tricky. There you see the 19 of Travis Minto back there in his pink Chevrolet. Everybody's still chasing down, though, that number 11 of Sean Single. Right on board here with the Mechanics Advisor onboard camera with Sean Single looking back at Dalton Williamson. He'll come down the back straightaway here. He'll hit the little bus stop on the backstretch, and then he'll head down into turn number 3. Sitting back there into that third position, though, he is the driver that comes in as the points championship leader. That's the number 64, Jason Wells, and he takes the Logitech Blue Machine to the outside there. Had to run on Dalton Williamson, but Williamson slams the door coming out of that bus stop on the back straightaway. Now we're going to come through this other bus stop right here out of turn number 4 of the oval portion before we complete lap number 1. Looks like Christopher Rothrock had a little bit of an issue, and now Richard Murdoch having an issue himself. It looks like he has looped it around in the Adventure in Pixel 01 entry. He looks like he also has front nose damage. He's not the only one having some problems. Here is the number 914 of Brian Bianchi. He's had some issues also. Side by side here, this is Ethan Troutman. He's getting around the number 5 of Brandon Minto right now. Everybody minding their P's and Q's right now. Only a couple drivers that have just looped it around. It looks like Tim Williams now having a problem in his McConey Setup Shop Rev Esports entry. Driver out of Ontario. He'll get going. It's just a solo spin down there to the infield. Race leader still Sean Single. Wells did get around Dalton Williamson as he had a huge bobble, pushing the 61 back a couple spots here. He now runs in position number 3. Coming down the big back straightaway here tonight. Looks like about 100 and call it 80 miles an hour down the back straightaway. Down to right around 70 to make the corner there was Dalton Williamson. Kevin O'Brien in the Jim Beam entry back here, the driver out of Australia. Sitting 14th, a good run for him here in the early stages. He says the road courses, for some reason, are some of his favorite tracks to drive on. Must be a lot of that Australian V8 kind of background that Kevin has from being down in Australia. Those Australian V8 machines are wicked. There's Ryan O'Donnell. Remember, he started up towards Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. He has fallen all the way back to the 15th position right now. And Ryan's one of those drivers. Oh, something going wrong there as the 921 of Ryan Richard was able to get around Ryan O'Donnell. So the Ryan and Ryan show back here. Not sure if Ryan O'Donnell just missed a shift or what happened that time on the front straight. Looks like Richard Murdoch has pulled his Adventure in Pixels 01 machine into pit road. As the battle for the race lead. Last week's winner, Jason Wells, going for the race lead through the infield here. He's going to try and cut back underneath. Will they come? Going to have a great run at him here. See if he can get a good run down the back straightaway here and pass him going into the bus stop. He'll have plenty of draft off that number 11, Sean Single out front. You can see the 64 Wells really gets through the bus stop a lot better than the number 11 of Sean Single. Gonna take a peek, but he's not gonna have anything to do with it. He'll just have to fall in line for the time being. Here is the 61 of Dalton Williamson. He has lost another spot as the Gen X driver. The Trust Me Vodka 88 of Sean Butler has picked back that spot. Oh, the 61 of Dalton Williamson going to lock him up. He's going to hit the turtles. He's going to have to come to a stop or at least slow down, as that is considered cutting the course here with iRacing, and they won't deal with cutting the course, so he'll have to slow. He loses the spot there to Max Terry. Now back to the 6th position for him. Another driver having some issues. There's the number 19 of Travis Minto. He had to do the same thing. He had to slow down just a little bit in that number 19 to give back a couple seconds. One driver coming to pit road. Here comes the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. He'll hit pit road for his first stop of the night. Still looks like Richard Murdoch is still sitting down on pit road. So the new race leader of Jason Wells is now going to set sail here on Sean Single. Sean Single going to run wide down here in that right-hander. See if we can get our track map up here for all you race fans. This is where all the drivers are running on the speedway. And correspondence with their car number right now, as you can find where your favorite driver is if you know his car number and if that snake to the infield is not too close together. There you see the 01 is down on pit road on that map. He is the only one sitting down on pit road. Picked up already 6 spots here tonight, trying to get around the number 86. That is James Skelton, the driver out of South Carolina. The Carolina Elite Real Estate on the side of this machine here. Drive it in deep on the outside, and he will get the pass on the 86 of Skelton as they go through the bus stop. Now Skelton going to come back because Richard kind of blew the bus stop, and now James Skelton will take back that spot. Here comes Travis Smith, though. Here comes Chris Hammett, last season's Rookie of the Year. Last season's rookie, passing one of those drivers that are looking for this season's Rookie of the Year campaign. So as that fizzles down right now, we'll see if Ryan Richard can get back on it or if he had used the tires up too much. Back here, this is 20th, 21st, 22nd. And I'm being told problems for the number 914 of Brian B. Yankee. Something happened. He has been off track multiple times here this evening. Of course, Brian, one of those drivers out of the SK Modified division, giving his hand here this season for his rookie campaign with the Scrambler Series. He'll lock it up, and his night is going to continue to stay rough here at the Daytona road course. Wells out front. He's opened it up to a little over 1 second gap. Buffalo Wild Wings of Brandon Minto. That is Brandon Minto, yeah. Last season drove a Ford. This season driving a Chevrolet. Had a conversation with Ryan O'Donnell earlier here this evening. Had some very nice Omaha steaks delivered to my home here a couple weeks back from my boss. We got to thank him for that. Ordered a couple of us with some Omaha steaks. But this color here tonight for Ryan O'Donnell, I told him if he would paint a truck orange, we would definitely give it a technical paints. And he asked them what was the most obnoxious orange color they had in the fleet of paints, and they came up with this one. It's called Multipass, and I don't know the exact hex code color for that one, but I need that color code because I'm going to have to paint all my vehicles now, and it is just absolutely outstanding. It's beautiful, it's bright, it sticks out, and it just looks good on that truck. The only thing that we wish we could change on that truck was the branding from a Ford to a Chevrolet. Right now, Ryan O'Donnell has dropped a couple spots. Remember, he took that little slide through, well, this corner right here to open up on the opening lap. Dropped him down 7 spots. So Ryan's still trying to rebound. Richard Murdoch, though, is back out. His teammate, he's back out there on track. Couple laps down to the race leaders right now is Richard, but he's time into the bus stop. Race leader, though, will lap again behind. So that would put him 3 laps once the race leader does catch him. And that beautiful baby blue Logic Tech entry that you see right there on the screen, that's the 64 Wells. Usually, race fans, if you follow the Red Light Racing Series, you would know that Wells has always driven the Logic Tech entry. But it has always been green. Green like on the timing and scoring map that's over on the right-hand side of your screen, lighting up the 64 to show you where we are on track. Well, that's normally his color, green. You can't miss it. But that baby blue, there's something about that. It's subtle, and it is beautiful here tonight. Rhino Danny still trying back here. He just got around Brandon Minto, but now he's trying to get around the 62, the Ream entry of Ethan Troutman. As Troutman's going to hit the turtles, and Ryan O'Donnell's going to get into the back of him. And straight away here, as Ryan O'Donnell will make that pass going down into turn number 1. So put Ryan O'Donnell back up inside the top 10, running now 9th. But something has happened to Joshua Buckley. Let's take the look back here and watch what happened to the Super Flow. Granny Hips Buckley's Walkers and Canes entry through the bus stop. And I believe in the racing world here in Red Light, what we would call that would be a self-yeet. Right on board. Just tried to get back to the throttle and found the outside wall. Sure, that's not what he was trying to do. There on screen, the driver out of Massachusetts. That is the number 41. Checkered flag auto supply Bobcat, Bob Higgins. Call him the Big Cat. So the Big Cat back here riding in 25th position. Christopher Rothrock coming down into the infield portion around turn number 1. Driver out of Pennsylvania, looks like his Renaissance Nutrition entry has been shortened up on the back end. Truck tells us they have that one too if we'd like to see it. And of course we want to see what happened to Rothrock. There you see the beautiful Renaissance Nutrition Get Milk entry. And what happens to, oh, wheel hops it, and around he goes and finds the inside wall coming towards pit road. So Rothrock going to see if he can rebound just a little bit now. One driver to pit road, though, inside the top 5. Here comes the 42 of Max Terrell. He was up into the 5th running position. He will be the first one of your race leaders to come to pit road here with 23 laps to go. It's not going to be the final stop he is going to have to make here tonight. So watch for Max Terrell to see what kind of pit road time he can get. Looks like it will be a 4-tire stop for the driver of the 42. So he's the 3rd driver to come to pit road. Sean Single hanging it out. Running there in 2nd position. The Mechanics Advisor number 11 Rev Esports driver, the one out of Ayer, Massachusetts. Set quick time here tonight. Led the first handful of laps, but it wasn't very long until Jason Wells got around him. So as they come back onto, it looks like this will be off the infield portion. See if he can close the gap down in the bus stop. Of course, Sean Single did compete this past season in the Daytona 24 Hours race, so he has some experience here on this track. Tim Combs having some issues down here at turn number 1. Looks like the 4 of Jeffrey Souza, though, is back up out onto the speedway. Remember, he did make a pit stop. So he has fresh tires compared to a lot of these drivers that have the older tires on, because they have yet to make their pit stops. Souza pitted back on lap number 3 for 4 tires and fuel. Everybody getting into a good rhythm, but man, the battle for the race lead, and it's going to come right onto pit road. Race leader of Jason Wells, Sean Single, Zach Mitchell, and Dalton Williamson all coming here to pit road. Sean Butler says, hey, I got enough fuel here. I'm going to stretch it out in just at least another lap here. So Sean Butler takes over the race lead, and now everybody else, Trevarthen, Johnson, O'Donnell, all coming to pit road. Looks like Brandon Minto will stay out with his Keystone Light Buffalo Wild Wings entry. Here, and it does look like Wells will be the first one back off pit road. Look to see if he can come out ahead of that number 42 of Max Theriault. Theriault, remember, has already pitted. He will. Max will fall back in the third. See if everybody can continue on this train. 22 laps to go. Sean Butler still the race leader. And where is the Butler? There he is. Up on the banking of turns 1 and 2 of the NASCAR oval portion here at the Daytona International Speedway. And I do believe he will be pitting this time by. So Sean Butler will bring the Trust Me Vodka Gen X driver, or sponsored entry here tonight for him to pit road. The multiple series champion here with Red Light Racing. Brian Bianchi having problems once again down here in that final bus stop. He'll bring the 914 to pit road. The Sean Butler come along with now. I heard he was going to pit on the radio. Let's see if this time by he does pit. Here he comes in the 88. Hard on the binders, trying to get as much as he can. So now he pits. Brandon Minto should be coming to pit road also this time. I'm sure when he comes to pit road, he'll pop a top on another Keystone Light. I heard when we get down to 15 laps to go tonight, race fans, we're getting a live interview with the driver of that number 5 here. And, well, that's just courtesy of his sponsor of Keystone Light and the U.S. Air Force. Got to thank them for what they do. And, of course, what Brandon... That turns the race lead back over to the number 64, Jason Wells, being chased by the number 11 of Sean Single. So as the pit cycle starts to really shake yourself through, take a look at the timing and scoring. Where is that driver that you follow here with Red Light Racing? Because right now you got a little bit of a, we'll call it a 4-car breakaway up here. It's Wells sitting right there, that number 24, DuPont Chevrolet. He is the 4th place runner. Sean Butler, who was the last one to come to pit road, along with that 5 of Brandon Minto. Sean Butler will fall into position number 5. One of them off track, though. That's number 61 of Dalton Williamson. He is taking the McConey setup shop off-roading. Who says they can't build the setup to go off-roading? Problems for the Renaissance Nutrition number 84, rolling away with smoke bellowing out the back end of it. Christopher Rothrock looks like his motor has expired. Road here with 21 laps to go. So as Rothrock comes to pit road, he'll join the number 2 of Joshua Buckley down on pit road. Buckley has now gotten passed by the number 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch going to pick up a spot here now this evening. So just by Richard coming back out on track, he'll pick up one. He will most likely pick up that spot from Christopher Rothrock also. Zach Mitchell, don't look out the back end right now because the 42 of Max Terrill, he is right there. Down in the corner, number one, listen to Max come through the gears. Let's look at the telemetry. Second gear, 55 miles an hour. Let's see where he hits. This is the fast portion right here. He'll exit this corner, and then it's the fast portion of the infield. About 125 miles an hour all the way back down to second gear, and 47 miles an hour. Very easy on the gas. Doesn't want to break the tires loose too much. Doesn't want to use up too much of the tire if he doesn't have to. So Max is holding down the fourth position. He did get to Mitchell, and then Mitchell scooted away a little bit. There is Sean Butler, and right behind him then will be the 61 of Dalton Williamson. And then here comes the Eco sitting back there in the 7th spot. What a great run he had on Thursday night as the SK Modified Series was hanging out down at the Concord Motor Speedway. Came from last to finish on the podium for his first ever podium with our SK Modified division. Right now he's picked up 2 spots. Your biggest mover of the race, though, is this number 4. Jeffrey Souza has picked up 12 spots, the only driver into double digits. He has come to pit road, though, on lap number 3, so he's going to have to bring it down again here very shortly. Probably this time or next time by, actually. Looks like a connection problem for the number 41, the Big Cat of Bob Higgins. Being shown off the speedway right now with the number 41. Oh, Souza's going to blow through the corner. Have to give up some time, so he'll go back around another time. But in the meantime, the number 64 of Wells, as we ride on board with him, he's pulling away. Still right there as he passes by the camera. He's still in the second position, but how much longer is he going to be able to stay there? Because here comes the 24 of Zach Mitchell. He had a great run that time coming onto the banking, but was not able. 24 of Zach Mitchell. He had a great run that time coming onto the banking, but was not able to keep the power underneath the 24 DuPont Chevrolet as he now falls back in line, running in third. Max Terriot right there also. Max very smooth, as you see the other 2 trucks ahead of him, very jerky on the wheel. 5 of Brandon Mishues. Looks like the Keystone Light Machine has been around. Let's take a look. Watch the replay as he comes down here into the corner. He's going to get that wheel out right there. The truck just don't turn, and it goes straight into the tires. Kyle Larson did that a couple weeks ago when they were here at the Daytona International Speedway running the road course. So maybe something about the 5 number and that barrier. I don't know. Just speculation. Murdoch once again, if you look at the timing and score, he's picked up another spot, and he's been able to stay just 2 laps down now. Unfortunately, we are here on a road course, and we will not have... So he is stuck 2 laps down. He would need everybody in front of him to have some issues here tonight. To either man up and drive back around everybody or hope that everybody has an issue. .42 of Max Terrill just snuck around the 24 of Zach Mitchell, so now Max is sitting there in third. Maybe Max can get around the number 11 of Sean Single. Zach Mitchell wasn't able to, and he falls back into the clutches of the 88 of Butler. So drivers, then it's Dalton Williamson in 6th, Michael Trevarthen back there in 7th, Ryan O'Donoghue is 8th, Eric Johnson slowly been working his way up in his 33 here tonight. He now runs 9th. James Skelton has fallen back into the 10th position. The evening as he's going to go around the slower car there, the number 914 of Brian Bianchi. This is your highest running rookie, though. This is the Caterpillar number 921, Orion Richard. Ryan came into the night 11th in the championship here with Red Light Racing. That cutoff line would right now be the 16th position of Kevin O'Brien. Uh-oh, something happened to the Bass Pro Shop number 17 of Tim Combs. He has turned it around. How did he turn it around? Did he have help? Looks like this is going to be a solo one off turn number 1. Just got back into the gas and tried to Tokyo drift style it. Did a good job of not hitting anything, but gotta lose a little time. Doesn't lose any spots, so that's the good thing. Right now, Tim Combs, the golfer, back there running 25th on the timing and scoring. Dave Bragg right here, back for the second race of his Red Light Racing Series. Out of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. That's right, he's one of the many Canadian drivers here with Red Light Racing. His other Ontario, Tim Williams, and Brandon Feeney. Right now, Dave, who was able to actually come home with a 4th place finish last week at the Daytona International Super Speedway, who was 4th in points coming into the night, is going to take a lump here because he is back in 21st running spot. For how many times Brian Bianchi here tonight has been off track, he has not called it quits. He is the little engine that just keeps on ticking, and oh, he's going to have some problems down into that corner. I'm sure Brian's right now thinking, Roger, why are you even showing me? It just shows how hard it is to get around this track. Brian, one of those drivers on Thursday night that competes towards the top half of the field, just having some very hard go of it here at the road course here at Daytona. His teammate, though, Rex Hoyle, doing a little bit better. He's got that 954 scratched up a little bit, but he's up there running into the 16th spot in his rookie campaign. Definitely out of the wheelhouse or the realm for the driver of that 954. I bet, though, if we took one of those super late models of the... Now, I know, I got a lot of crazy ideas, race fans. They tell me that all the time, and I'm not saying let's bring the SK Modified series here on Thursday night. Let's keep that to running at the short tracks. One of them has gone around, though. That is the Ryan Richard entry down in turn number 1. He was parked up against the inside wall there. Let's see what happens to him. Got a little wheel hop getting in, then when he tries to correct it with a little throttle, he just winds up going around. There goes the 6 of Hammett. There goes the 5 of Minto, and there goes Rex Hoyle also. He'll also lose a spot here to Tony Strano, as Strano does get around him also. 16 laps remaining here at the road course here at the Daytona International Speedway. Been a rough one for a couple of these drivers, but everybody out there having a lot of fun. So they tell me. One driver back down the pit road. Here comes the 42 of Max Terriel. He'll slow down the MK Medic machine. He'll come to pit road. He was one of the first ones to pit road last time, and that trend will continue. What do you say we take the halfway break right here and see if we can get a hold of the driver of the number 5 of Brandon Minto? And This is exactly what the team sponsor wanted here tonight, race fans. So let's go ahead and let's just dial them up under green flag racing. What do you say? Brandon Minto, how many?
I'm at 6 right now.
6. Can you even count that high? Because we got more corners than 6 here tonight.
Barely, as I'm watching my brother go by me right now. I don't even know how well I can count, right? To be honest, I don't know how many turns there are here, and I'm struggling in all of them.
How hard is it as you go into turn 1 here to keep this thing under control?
It's a little tough. Just as long as you hit your braking point, it's not too terribly bad. But the biggest thing is just watching for that wheel spin and just keeping the rear tires underneath you.
And you got to keep a watch out for the drivers underneath you too, as we see you getting passed by Rex Hoyle. Well, Minto, keep the car on the track.
Hey, I'm trying. I already hit the wall once, so hopefully that's the only time I hit it.
Well, he crinkled up that Keystone Light Race fans like a Keystone beer can. You heard it. That's the midway break with Brandon Minto, and the number is 6. Back to the front of the field here, though. He has opened up almost a 2.5-second gap. This is Jason Wells still out front here tonight, closing in. This time by it will be officially halfway in the books, as nobody else can lead more laps here tonight than the driver of that number 64, and he will come to pit road. Will Sean Single? He will. Here will come everybody else. Even Butler this time is going to come to pit road with the race leaders. He's not going to stay out to push it one extra lap like he did last time. It's straight to pit road with the race leaders. Ryan Aldani will be the next one to come to the entry to pit road. Does he bring the Turbo Dork Radical Paints in? He does. He'll drag along the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen along with him. So a lot of these drivers right now taking the opportunity here, and with 14 laps to go in this event, I just don't think it's going to have enough fuel from this point on. They will have to make at least one more stop coming back across here. This is the Carolina Elite Real Estate number 86, the agent 86 of James Skelton. He'll take over the race lead right now, as he did not come to pit road that time. As you see the rest of the race leaders trying to catch him. There comes Wells screaming out of pit road. Here comes the storm from the north blowing in. He now will take over the third position. Max Terrell will leapfrog Sean Single. But there is still one more pit stop to be made here tonight. That won't be the end of it. Here comes the Dirty Mo Radio 33. This is Eric Johnson. He has just made his pit stop, and now he is coming back out here onto the racetrack. He made his stop on lap number 16 tonight, and Wells drives right underneath James Skelton. Here comes Max Terrell. He's going to get to the inside also of James Skelton, and he will now pass him through the infield portion of the track. So Jason Wells, who has led a majority of this one, continues to lead now after his green flag pit cycle, but he doesn't have a 2.5-second buffer back to the second place car, because now Max Terrell is sitting there, P number 2, as we go on board with him. That's the distance as they come down here to the bus stop down the back straightaway. Max is hard onto the binders. Very smooth, though. Oh, he's going to hit the rumble strip, the turtle, and he's going to loop it. The 42 of Max Terrell is spinning to the infield grass. Max had just closed the gap on the 64 of Wells, and now he is going to lose it. He's going to tumble down the pylon. He will now regain traction, but it's now back in to position number 7. Take a look at Max Terrell right here. Hits the rumble strip, and just around that truck goes. James Skelton has now come to pit road for his stop. This is his second stop of the evening. He'll put 4 fresh tires and fuel in that truck. It's an Australian, and it's a Canadian. Battling out here. Brandon Feeney just ahead of the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien's going to lay the wood to the back of that Canadian Memorial Day themed at number 38. He told me this is Canadians Week. I don't know what that means. He texted me that before the race. I don't know what that means. as Kevin O'Brien's going to really drive it off hard and heavy into the corner. Got right to the back bumper of Brandon Feeney. Troutman right behind them. That is the battle for these three drivers in position. Kevin O'Brien going to swing wide off the corner. Here comes the 62 of Ethan Troutman. He'll take advantage. So Troutman will take advantage of the mistake there, the miscue by Kevin O'Brien in the Jim Beam entry. O'Brien going to ride wide again. Wells has the race lead, and it's now up to 2+ seconds over Sean Single, Zach Mitchell. Everybody spread out here inside your top three. It's the same distance back here to Sean Butler in his 88 entry, and then got to go 2.5 seconds back here to find the 61 of Dalton Williamson. He's been inside the top 5 all evening long. We talked earlier about how the driver of the 921 of Ryan Richard was the biggest mover of the race. Well, here after another green flag pit cycle, it is now officially Tony Strano who has brought the Victory Junction Gang number 3 machine up here to running in the top 15. He's now 12. If you watch the NASCAR race from Circuit of Americas this past weekend, you know, the Victory Junction Gang, very big with Petty Enterprises. Of course, Kyle Petty, the head of that organization, but Richard Petty, the owner of car number 43, as you see Strano coming to pit road. Well, his win record for the Petty Enterprises just got tied this week by Hendrick Motorsports. Richard Petty and Rick Hendrick have agreed to also, with Chase Elliott, sign the door panel from the 9 car and raffle it off for the Victory Junction Gang group. So that was pretty cool. A bunch of guys coming together in the sport of NASCAR for the children. So they're auctioning that off here in the next couple of weeks. Wells out front. When he comes back around this time, he will see 11 laps to go with a pending pit stop, and we are guessing anytime after lap number 9 to go here, we will see all the drivers plunge to pit road. As that point forward, they should be able to make it on a tank of fuel. There you see the 01 of Richard Murdoch right now into the 27th spot. He is 2 laps down. He'll go another lap down. Joshua Buckley in the number 2 has now come back out onto the racetrack with his Canes and Walker Superflow entry. He did use a walker, I can tell you, to get back into his truck here tonight. One driver coming back out, that's Brian Bianchi. Bianchi being scored back in 25th. He is 1 lap down with the... Tim Combs is also 1 lap down. He is running back into the 24th position. There you see the 42 of Max Terriot going around him. Max back to running 5th now. Something happened to Sean Butler, I'm being told, and the truck says they have it, so let's see what the truck can show us with the 88 of Butler. There you see him. He was closing in on Zach Mitchell and Sean Single, and oh, he did the same thing Max did, just hit the turtle down on the bus stop on the back straightaway and hits the outside wall, loses a little bit of time, loses a couple spots there, drops down to 6th. Let's ride on board and see how hard that hit is. Heard him throttle it back up to try and stay out of that wall. Unfortunately, just got that left rear into it. So Sean back now. Looks like he is about 16th the race leader of Wells, who will get the double high five when they come by the flag stand. So Wells is closing in on the number 2 of Joshua Buckley here. Buckley going to go straight through that little bit of a bus stop. Sean Single has started to close the gap in. Question being, though, is Wells allowing him to close in? There you see Single and Mitchell back there, both getting around the slower car of Buckley. And with 10 laps to go, before we get to those last stops here of the evening, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here with the closing laps here at Daytona. And just like that, welcome back here. You haven't missed a thing. Nothing has changed out front. The only thing that has changed is, well, nothing. Nobody has come to pit road. Nobody went off track during that commercial break. All these drivers must have known we were cutting away for a commercial break. One driver making a move, though. Here is the 33 of Eric Johnson. He is looking to get around James Skelton, and Skelton's going to see if he can cross him back over down the back straightaway. Not going to happen, though. Eric Johnson will slam the door with that Chevrolet, and they will ride down into the bus stop. 9 laps to go as they approach the bus stop here. Let's see. Oh, the 33 slides a little bit in the first half, and it gets the power down. He'll power back away. So 9 laps to go. Eric Johnson picking up his 7th spot there. He'll now go to 8th on the running order. Looks like Tim Combs is going to go to pit road. He'll get out of the way. Very crisp shifts there by James Skelton. Here's a driver that said tonight wasn't going to go very well, and he finds himself under 10 laps to go and inside the top 10. One driver to pit road here, though, to make his final stop of the night with 9 laps to go. This is the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. He'll come down and he'll get his final services of the night. There you see Christopher Rothrock. He's still sitting there with our Renaissance Nutrition, number 84. He's multiple laps down right now, still waiting for his truck to get fixed. Well, tonight's race looks like a lot of fun from behind the screen, doesn't it, race fans? Well, what do you think about getting in the sim itself? There's one place that you need to go, and there's one place that you need to know. That is RB Custom Rigs. That is Rick Bell Custom Rigs. He can build you the monster machine to power the International Space Station, or he can just build you a computer to run iRacing. It doesn't take a ton of computer power to run iRacing. All it takes is, well, one custom build from RB Custom Rigs. Make sure to contact your PC to get out on track tomorrow. There is the number 40 of Rob Higgins. Rob will go 1 lap down now, run back. So that'll leave Ryan Richard on the lead lap, and he's going to lock it up going down into the corner. He'll swing wide as here comes the race leader. He'll let him go right on by. Wants nothing to do with that. I'm sure he'll let the 11 of Sean Single get out of the way of the race leaders as he's having a little. He'll let the 11 of Sean Single get out of the way of the race leaders as he's having a little difficult handling issues. He'll swing to the outside. He'll let Zach Mitchell go around him on the inside. Tony Strano no longer holds that most positions gained with that Victory Junction number 3. Chris Hammett now holds that with 8 spots to gain here tonight with 8 laps to go. I'm very impressed, though, with how these drivers have handled these machines here tonight at Daytona, at the road course. My money on that there would have been a lot more cars going off this track than staying on. As I say that, and I believe Brian Bianchi just had some issues there. You see his tire marks through the grass. Lock up down there in turn number 1 also. Seven laps remaining when they hit the line, and here comes your race leader to pit road. So it'll be Wells, it'll be Single, it'll be Williamson. Zach Mitchell will stay out. He will actually lead a lap here tonight in that number 24. He'll slide it literally sideways going into turn number 1. So he'll take a bonus point here tonight for leading a lap at Daytona. Everybody else coming to pit road, though. Everybody says right now is the time to come to pit road. What about James Skelton? He's the next one to approach pit road. He will bring the Carolina Elite Real Estate machine to pit road. Good stop all over him, and he's going to hit the cone. We'll see if that's going to be a penalty. I don't know how the iRacing officials are going to score that one. Seven to go, and Zach Mitchell holds the top spot, but he has yet to pit. The region Sean Single is right there on the back of Jason Wells, is because his pit road time was a lot faster than Jason Wells. Sean Single's time was 39.67 to Wells' 41 flat in pit road from commitment cone to commitment cone. That is why. Ryan O'Donnell had some issues in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. Let's go back and watch what happened to Ryan here with his beautiful arms machine. Coming down into the final bus stop right here, and we caught a little piece of the turtle, and very hard contact as you see the motor expire. Right on board. Ouch. The only way to describe that one is ouch. As Zach Mitchell is down on pit road for the final time here tonight. Here comes the two race leaders, though. They will go screaming on by. 6 laps remaining here tonight. As Wells goes back to the point. It's Wells. It's Single. Then it should be Zach Mitchell regaining the 3rd spot here when he comes out of pit road. They have a pretty good, the Rev Esports, the driver out of Tampa, Florida. He's back there running in 4th. Max Terrell is sitting there running in the 5th. 7th is going to be Trevarthen. 8th is Troutman. 9th is Skelton. And the 10th position right now is Rex Hoyle. 20 cars still left on the lead lap, and the last one is the Beefy Motorsports entry. Looks like the clutch in this machine is holding together, and you won't have to try and figure out why on it after this one. I mean, it is got a little bit of nose damage, but I think it'll buff out. Of course, Feeney getting the old late model ready for competition this year. Up there in Canada, also is part of the Canadian Legends Tour. So we wish hobby stock that he has up there in his arsenal of cars to race. So, I mean, Brandon, if you need somebody to come up there and wheel one of your machines for a weekend, you give us a call. We'll slap the old helmet on and the fire suit and put the gloves on and show you how to get it done. Tonight, Brandon Wells is passed. Wells just got passed by Sean Single. And this is how it happened. He got to the outside of the 64. And Wells is going to hit the turtle very hard, but he held on to it. Helmet camera with Wells. See those green gloves really out of shape. Wonder how much damage is actually done to that 64 of Wells. 5 laps to go. Does he have anything to go rebound? As they close in on the slower car, I believe that's the 54. Oh, excuse me, that's actually going to be the 907 of Tim Williams. A little lock up there by Sean Single that time. Let Wells get right back to the bumper. This is going to be a good one. 3 cars here, 3 trucks. Single, Wells, Mitchell all have a chance at this one as they come down the back straightaway. Zach Mitchell back there really wheeling that 24. He really wants to close in on this 64, and he is going to be able to have a chance down here. 64 of Wells going to go to the outside to block that outside lane this time. Here comes the 24. He'll dive it to the inside now. Oh, and he's going to get a little piece of it, but the 64 checks up, lets Mitchell get right on by. So that'll help out. That'll though now of Wells back to running in the 3rd position. Christopher Rothrock is back out on track, and his woes continue. Got a little throttle happy. Back to the race lead. Everybody else through the field is pretty much stretched out from each other. You are watching the best battle here at the end of this one, here from the road course at the Daytona International Speedway. Sean Single a little wide that time through the corner. Oh, but Mitchell really sideways, really hounding the back tires of his 24. With 4 laps to go, you can definitely let it all hang out at this point. It is time to go. Whatever you have saved, you got to use it now. You can't wait. Only 3.5 more laps to use it up. Question being, though, for all you race fans out there, we know when we head to the short tracks, the 3-tap Teddy rule comes into effect. But what about here at the road courses? How do you go about a last lap dive bomb? What do? Do you drive her in real hard, or do you just try to get to the bumper to get him loose, to just try to rattle his cage? Mitchell that time really closes the gap through the bus stop on the back straightaway. Mitchell drives it in real hard that time. He's going to be able to possibly... Oh, he gets a little bit of that rumble strip, and it upsets him. You see how that number 11 of Sean Single really fires away from him out of the final corner. That's not going to be what Zach Mitchell wants to have happen tonight. 3 to go. Look at Single, wheel hop sideways, correction. Able to keep it underneath him, but he is trying to wheel that thing. Wild Thing sitting there in second. Sean Single has never won a race in the Scrambler Series. Has never put his name in that record book. Could he do it here tonight? Zach Mitchell, he has picked up a win last season, and of course, Jason Wells has 5 wins to his career. He would like to add another one to make it 6. Any little mistake right now by your top 3 drivers could take them out of a podium position. Dalton Williamson, sitting back there about, call it 7, almost 7 seconds back and forth with 3 laps to go, but a spin to the infield erases that in the blink of an eye. Brandon Feeney getting out of the way of the race leader. Side by side, though. Here comes the 24 of Mitchell. He'll try the inside here on the 11 of Sean Single as they're going to come into the final bus stop here. It'll be the 24 getting around him, but they're going to go side by side, and somebody's going to have to give contact. The 24 is going to have to cut the course. Contact with the 11 of Sean Single. Now Zach Mitchell has to go through the infield, and now he'll have to slow, and they're going to box the 64 and 3 wide with 2 laps to go in Daytona. 3 wide as they came across the line there with that contact with the 24. As Mitchell's going to be on the outside here. Here comes the 64 Wells now trying to rebound through. They're going to go side by side through this very dangerous tight S-turn. And it's going to be Wells coming out in the second spot. Wells drives it down into the bottom side of that corner and just trying to get the power down. Him and Zach Mitchell both going to slide a little bit. Sean Single's going to extend the race lead. Here comes the 64 Wells. He is there, and they're both sliding behind him, letting the trucks hang out. So Wells does still have a pretty fast number 64 machine. He'll have a great launch off the corner here, but Single's going to get a good launch also. Mitchell not so good coming off that corner. He is starting to fade. Wells wants the spot. Josh Buckley having some issues in his Granny Hips number 2 machine as we stay locked right here for the race lead. Into the bus stop. Wells looked really solid through here earlier today. Gonna slide a little bit, and now Mitchell's gonna hit the turtles. Sideways for Wells. He'll lose a ton of momentum. That will let Sean Single really sneak out. There's the distance as they're on the high banks here at Daytona. This time by, they're going to see the 1 lap to go. Off the final corner, here they come. They're going to pick up the white flag. It'll be 1 lap to go. Presented by Checkered Flag Auto Supply. 1 lap to go here at Daytona. Still anybody's ball game to see who will pick this win up. Sean Single has a half a second race lead over Wells and Mitchell. They will come into lap traffic. Lock up there by Single, lock up by Wells, and everybody gets around the 84 Rothrock. Everybody chasing Sean Single. He is running like his life depends on it right now. Has to be steady. 1 slower car up ahead of him. That is the 9. I believe that's going to be 921. Oh! Problems for Wells. Wells has blinked out, and now Wells has got turned around. Let's look back on Wells here. He was there, and then it wheel hopped, and exit stage right. There's your race leader now, has a second race lead. Through the bus stop for the final time on the back straightaway. There's the distance. The 24 is Zach Mitchell back there. He'll have one final attempt. One final try. As he's not going to be able to get it done. Winning the second race of the season. As now Mitchell's going to have problems. Mitchell spins it off the final corner. Can he get it refired and going? It will be Sean Single winning. It will be Max Theriault passing the 24 for second. Now he's going to go up and try and block the 64, but it will be Wells in redemption. Wells will round out the podium. Then it will be Zach Mitchell, Dalton Williamson. Sean Butler will come across the line. He'll be sick tonight. 7th will go to the 31 of Michael Trevarthen as he comes through the final corners. James Skelton going to try and hang on to his spot. He doesn't have anybody pressuring him. He'll come through the final corners. Nice and easy for the driver out of South Carolina. He'll pick up 8th here tonight. 9th will go to Eric Johnson. There's Chris Hammett. He has nobody behind him either. He'll come across the line, rounding out the top 10. There's your race winner. I don't think he knows he has picked up the win. He's still out there riding around like his life depends on it. Unofficial timing and scoring results are on the left-hand side of the screen. Find where your favorite driver finishes after this wild one here tonight at Daytona for the road course. Post-race show coming up here in just a couple of moments. Post-race show, of course, brought to us by our friends over at Renaissance Nutrition. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here to celebrate with Sean Single after this. Welcome back to Daytona here, race fans, as well. We have completed a crazy one here at the World Center of Racing here at the Daytona International Speedway, running the road course here for round number 2 of the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. So with 30 laps in the books, it came down to 3 drivers in the final 2 laps to figure this one out, and only 2 of them out of the 3 finished on the podium here tonight. One of them got lucky, snuck in the back door, and one of them just had a rough go of it at the end. Let's go down trackside, though, for our Renaissance Nutrition post-race show and catch up with the race winner of Sean Single. Sean, a one that you had to work for here tonight. Didn't seem like you had the fastest truck all night long. You just had the fastest truck in that final stage.
Yeah, it felt really good. I honestly didn't think I had any chance of keeping up with Max and Jason throughout the race. I was kind of just trying to hit my marks, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. I know I got into Zach at the end. I'll have to apologize for that, through that chicane. It's just such a hard chicane to get into, and I knew if I had the inside and I tried to leave enough room, maybe I wouldn't get into him, but I'll have to apologize to him later.
But yeah, road course racing, we only do it once a year, so not everybody is, we'll call it as skilled or, as open-minded to the fact of road course racing. But what was the mindset coming into the night?
Just keep the nose clean, keep it off the grass. I knew that I had a quick truck coming out the gate, like just getting new tires. I knew I could put fast lap times down, but it was more about managing my tires by the end of it. So just keeping a clean nose, trying to hold my line the whole time of what I got.
And you were able to keep that mechanic advisor entry machine very clean here tonight. So though, as we have a week off here, you're going to get 2 weeks. You're the only driver that's going to get 2 weeks to really soak in a win this season. So that's going to be a good party. I hope I can get invited to it. For the next race, the Xfinity car, first time you're going to get to drive the Xfinity car this season. What do you think headed to Chicagoland?
I'm excited. Chicagoland is a track that I really liked. Last season I finished either second or third, so it's a a track I know well, and I'm excited to get in the Xfinity cars, getting a little something different.
Well, congratulations here tonight.
I got to thank my mom and dad. Obviously, they watch every race. I think my sister and her boyfriend, Corey and Cam, are also watching, so I got to thank them. My roommates behind me, I got to thank them as well, and then all the guys down in Rev Esports, Dalton, Mike, Tim, Brandon, all the sponsors, BK Paints, Platinum RV Services. I think I'm forgetting one more. Maconi Setup Shops. Got to thank all of them. So it's we're gonna have a couple beers tonight. I'm excited. I was pumped to finally get it done in the Scrambler series here.
Well, there you hear it, race fan. Sean Single picks up the win here at the road course ever. Monday night Scrambler Series win. So he will notch his name. He will be the 22nd driver to ever win on Monday night with the Scrambler Series. Congratulations. We're up spot here tonight. It's the driver of that 42 of Max Terrell. Max, it looked like he had a really fast truck. It looked like he had a great setup underneath it and a great strategy. And then all of a sudden, that bust up on the Max straightaway took it away.
Yeah, I made a mistake where I was 2 times out, and I was in a great position. I was able to save tires on the long run, but that one mistake cost me a lot. And yeah, I really hate it.
How hard was it once you made that mistake down on the bus stop to really get your mind back set right as there?
It's just about not making a second mistake and trying to find the rhythm I had last night in practice, which was really good. Probably was too hard on the brakes the first half of the race. Took it easier the second half, and I closed in on the guys in front of me. Was fortunate that some of them had also mishaps and took advantage right at the end.
Yeah, talk about the end of this one. You know, at that time, coming to get 2 to go, it looked like you were going to just be having to settle for a 4th place finish. Then a couple drivers in front of you had some issues with Wells taking a spin, and then Zach Mitchell took a spin also. Then coming to that finish line, you just drove right around them.
Yeah, I was the first one to be surprised when Jason looped it before NASCAR turn 1. I thought he might have enough speed to stay ahead of me, but I was faster on the exit, and then seeing that red DuPont rear end, I was surprised that Zach also had spun around. Maybe he was involved in contact with Sean, or I didn't see the replay yet, but not something I hoped for the others. But I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, you got to take that because now you will officially leave Daytona here as the race, as the championship leader here. So that's got to be pretty good. What's the outlook coming up, though? Chicagoland, then we head to Dover with the 1987 cars and Worldwide Technology Raceway. So you got 3 completely different racetracks coming up.
Yeah, I'll start with Chicago next week. That is not one of my best tracks. It's a 1.5 mile cookie cutter track. You would think drives the same as all the others, but personally I haven't found the right line or the speed that makes me consistent with every cars or truck that we've run there, so we'll have a lot of testing to do.
Well, Max, before we let you go, who's back home tonight north of the border watching?
Yeah, my girlfriend, my friend Max at Maxim Knitting, and my dad. Shout out to Turn 3 Network for the broadcasts, to Josh, James, and Richard for running this Scrambler series on Monday nights, and I'll see you next week.
There you hear it. Max Terrell finishing on the podium once again here tonight, though. Had to come from a little bit deeper in the field after his slide to finish P number 2. And the man who's sitting in P number 3, man, Jason, I know it's not where you want to be tonight. You want to be over there in Victory Lane celebrating. But when you look at this one, you're going to say you at least salvaged this race here at Daytona.
On the last lap, I was going for it. Racing hard like that is a lot of fun. I can lose races like that every day of the week and still be fine. That was just a great race. He just outbeat me on the last stint. He was way faster than I was. That
strategy that you had taken there with 23 laps to go to come to pit road was 1 lap sooner than Zach Mitchell. Did you think when you came to pit road and Sean came to pit road with you and you saw Zach go whizzing by, did you think maybe you played the wrong strategy?
I was actually afraid that someone was going to, before me and then jumped me on the racetrack. So I was going to go to 7 to go, and I thought maybe to be safe, I'll wait until 8 to go and make the last pit stop.
When you came out of pit road, then tell us about, though, going down into the corner there, making that little mistake and spinning the 64 around. What happened?
Well, I don't know why people think they can. Well, I can tell you why, because I got passed twice on the last bus stop chicane. But there's just certain places on this track you got to set everybody up. And I knew if I got a good run out of that corner into NASCAR turn 1, that I could set Sean up for maybe going into the bus stop or out of the last chicane. And I just got on too hard and looped it around.
That's unfortunate, as you will rally, though, back. What did you think, though, coming out of that final corner, and you saw the DuPont number 24 looped around there, and then he started coming up the speedway a little bit?
I thought I was not lifting.
Well, I guess when you come into the checkers, it's either checkers or wreckers at that point. But, hey, you salvaged a podium spot here tonight. You're going to fall one spot in the championship points. It looks like you might fall to second leaving here, but still a good salvage night here at Daytona. Who made this all possible tonight for the 64?
Well, I guess I'm rocking a new Alienware R12 computer this season, so I have to thank Alienware for that. And, the guys that run Red Light Racing, it's an awesome league. Everybody's so competitive. I think for a lot of people, the season really starts in the next race. So I'll be looking forward to racing everybody and you for putting on a great broadcast.
There you hear it, race fans, from the driver of the number 64 here tonight. Jason Wells takes the unconventional route, and he will round down our podium here tonight. Of course, our post-race show is brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. You did hear from Sean Single, Max Terrell, and Jason Wells, your top 3 competitors here tonight at the Daytona International Road Course. But boy, was it a good one here tonight. These drivers here with Red Light Racing, they never disappoint. They always put on good shows and competitive shows. Even whether it's at the high banks of Daytona or the road course here at Daytona, it's always fun to watch. Next week, though, we are off on Monday night for the holiday, and we will be back on June the 7th when we do head to the Chicagoland Speedway. It's the first time we're going to get the Xfinity cars out of the haulers this season. We're going to go 90 laps the distance from Chicagoland. If you want to catch more Red Light Racing action, though, you can catch Red Light Racing, the SK Modified portion of the series, on Thursday evening as they head to the Five Flags Speedway. But for everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody over at RB Custom Rigs and Red Light Racing, Renaissance Nutrition, we thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Roger Muth, and until we catch you next time, we will see you at the races.